All I care about is money and the city that I'm from. I'ma sip it till I feel it. I'ma smoke it till it's done. I don't really give a fuck.
And my excuse is that I'm young.
And I'm only getting older.
Somebody should have told you.
It's Cash Money Records coming at you live for the 99 to the 2000.
Yo. Cuh.
Power to the people. No, for real. For real. Today of all days. This portable pod.
Yes, sir.
I need you to really hear it.
Yes, sir.
I need you to really feel it in your soul. So when I say it, hear me. Power to the people. We're back to do maintenance. Yeah, we gonna rock like crack when it came in.
Man.
We're here.
Yes, sir.
We're back. We just introed with,
come on, man.
You know, the word classic gets thrown around a lot.
Bro. There's certain songs that are timeless.
But from the moment that song came out, all I care about is money.
In the
city that I'm from. I'm gonna sip it till I feel it. And I'm gonna smoke it till it's done. Now I don't really give it because my excuse is that I'm young and I'm only getting older.
Man.
Somebody should have told you.
Man.
That was a classic I'm On One by DJ Khaled, Drake, Rick Ross, and Lil Wayne. A prelude to what may or may not be coming in today's episode.
I don't know, man. That's a reach. I don't know if we're going that direction.
We may not, but we may, because we are, of course, the two stubborn Nigerians coming at you live, not from 2019.
Man.
Not from 2020.
Slightly off.
But we here in the new year.
Man.
2021.
Wow, well done. We made it. Hey, we made it. Clap it up. Clap it up.
It needed a moment of silence. Nigga, we made it. Maybe alluding to what may or may not be coming later. I don't know.
This guy's already in his podcast.
I don't know.
I said, how are we kicking off 2021?
Where are we here? It's me. It's me. It's Podcast P. I'm one half of your host, and today I'm joined by one of the distinguished gentlemen. My renowned co-host. World famous.
Oh, man.
Listened to in over 11 countries.
Wow. Imagine that.
Across 5 continents.
Jesus. Mama, I made it.
Mama, he made it. It's the... maybe again, alluding to something that's coming later in the podcast.
They don't know. We did science today.
It's the guy who gave you the look.
Yes, sir.
The verse and even the hook.
Yes, sir.
That's why every pod sounds like Kex featuring Kex.
Again, alluded.
Maybe. Maybe or maybe not.
Yo, we back. Huh. Listen, because I know a lot of people are asking... They haven't got their answers. Listen, let's say it now.
Yeah.
We took a week off.
Yeah, we took a week off.
2020 was hard on all of us.
Man.
It was a tough last year.
It was tumultuous.
Bro? Are you guys seeing the bag that we're in already?
The syllables are back.
The year just started.
The syllables are back.
We're already in our damn bag.
Don't make me start opening up this simile bag. I brought it today.
I brought it today. Man said expansion.
Last year was about branding. This year's about expansion.
Man, that's not even a topic.
That's not even a topic.
Nah, last year was a tough year from beginning to the outset. Like, I don't think anyone would disagree in that. So, we took a year off the last week of the year, get ourselves together, come together, relax a little bit, so that we can come back in 2021 strong. Yeah, the way that the year is going to carry on.
We had to take a step back to just evaluate, align our chakras, and, we're here. Be ready to bring you this podcasting bonanza, which has become so familiar to so many of you, to so many people, in places like the United Kingdom, in places like the United States, in places like Singapore, in places like Canada, Toronto specifically, may or maybe not, alluding to what could be coming in the book. I don't know. I actually don't know. Germany, all the places, man. We thank each and every one of you for continuing to join us on this audiastic adventure.
Yes, sir.
On this lyrical exercise. On this trip down the stream of podcasting extraordinaires.
This nigga refuses to really just start the podcast.
Let's get to the shit. It might be an hour and a half of just this. You know what I'm saying? Just gist. Before we start, man, rest in peace to MF Doom.
Man.
Rest in peace to MF Doom. MF Doom passed away on, we believe, October 31st, his family said, and the news just came out. They released the news on December 31st.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we believe it was October 31st when he actually passed away, and it was kept private. And the family released the news officially on the 31st of December 2020. MF Doom, just a legendary rapper. your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Put it that way, man. Just a legend, such a staple of the hip hop community. From London, something I only found out in 2020, man. Just an absolute legend. Rest in peace to MF Doom, and as a wider, point, rest in peace to all the people we lost in what was the tragic year of 2020, man. It wasn't easy. It was rough every step of the way. Like, honestly, this time last year, all of us were prepping because we thought we might be going into a third world war. For real.
Man, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were telling me, they didn't really mind 2020 because it was a year that they really got to like just chill out, work from home, and like they were able to relax a lot more than usual. And it was only in that conversation that the words came out of my mouth. I didn't even know where they came from because it's not something I've thought about before like that. But 2020 has really been defined by the loss.
Man,
which is just so, it's really sad when you sit back and think about it. Like, there's no stage where you could say, oh, okay, there's not loss. Like, as you said, we started off the year, we all joked on Twitter and said, yo, World War III, but missiles hit.
Yeah.
People died.
No, for real.
Then again, we lose Kobe.
Yeah.
We lose David Stern
the first day of the year. Yeah.
And it just never really got lighter.
A few weeks after Kobe, we lose Pop Smoke.
Man.
Like, it was a year full of loss into, a lot of people are still grieving, still dealing with a lot of things. We pray for you. Our prayers are out to each and every one of you. But, we made it to a new year. There's reasons to be optimistic, man. We're still breathing. We're still able to just keep living. Still able to see loved ones, be around people who love you and care about you. Even through the tears. Fuck Boris. I said it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I said it.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Get out of there. Anyway. But yeah, 2021. 2021.
We made it.
Man. From 1997, bro. I'm old.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm old.
Bro, I'm starting to see grey hairs.
Yo, like, fam. I don't think you understand. I've been seeing grey hairs. And even recently, I've been seeing grey hairs. Now, tell me why that doesn't make sense. Because I don't have hair. And I don't have hair because my hairline left me at 16. So why am I now still seeing... I thought I escaped at least that aspect of aging. What is this? It's a setup.
Tony Gray with no hair.
Fam. I didn't even get to enjoy a beard. Now all of a sudden my beard's going grey. Like, what?
Fam. I'm telling you, it was just... That stress of 2020, everyone's grey now.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Nah, but we here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. You know what, Paul? I'll be honest. Over the last, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've had Christmas. We've had New Year's.
Yeah.
Fam, I'm stuffed. I'm recording on the mic right now.
Fam.
I don't think I can eat again.
At all.
I'm so stuffed. Like,
fam. Ate bountiful amounts.
Bro.
For real.
Bro. You don't even know the turkey.
Yeah.
Dodo gizzard.
Yeah.
Man.
Me, like, I had the audacity. I was just ordering out too. Like, it's my mum's birthday, Christmas Eve. We'll cook on Christmas. Let's order this food. The week before, you're down? You're feeling sad? It's cool. We'll order Nando's. Just random. You know what I'm saying? This is why they shouldn't give me money.
I'm telling you, money is the biggest trap. Because you won't even spend on what you want.
Bro, there's never been a point in my life where I thought to myself, I'm just order Nando's until I started making money.
Bro, like, fam, you won't want Nando's.
Like, at all.
Out of nowhere, now that you have an extra bit of money in your pocket.
It can't hurt. All of a sudden, I'm looking at my bank account. Yay, I am in pain.
Yo.
Man, but we here.
We're here.
It's a new year. It's the same us. But to that extent, there are some people who don't know us.
Man.
Is it time we should let them get to know us?
It's about time.
It's about that time. So 2020 was obviously a year where a lot of us were at home and we were probably, in our headphones a lot listening to music because you have to drown out the noise of your mum working in this room and your brother working in this room and just drown out people as well because why are you talking to me, cuz?
Especially with quarantine.
Fam!
There's only so many words you can speak to me in one day.
Like, for real. But with that being said, as is a staple of pretty much every year now for the past few years, Spotify Rap Day comes along. And obviously you're an Apple Music person for whatever reason. We won't get into it. You decide to stick with the inferior streaming service, but it's fine. You're bold in your ignorance. It's cool. We're not gonna get into it.
No, listen. I'm not gonna attack you, but well and truly, I'm not gonna mess up that future Spotify bag that might be there.
Great.
So we're gonna chill.
Cool. So, but obviously, Spotify Rap Day comes along. It's always a big event of the year because people are always wanting to see who they listen to the most, what they listen to, and what's defined their year. And I always think it's really good. I think it's really interesting. I thought I wanted us to get into it as I'll get to know this week. And so I'm going to pose the question to you. Obviously, your Apple Music, so it's not Spotify Wraps, but what was your most listened to artist of the very long and tumultuous year that was 2020? Talk to me. Talk to the people.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because off rip, before I even downloaded it, found out the year wrap up that Apple Music did, you sort of like log onto it, sort of guessing who it's going to be.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was really going to be Childish Gambino. I couldn't imagine who else it would be because I listened to that album so many times, it was ridiculous.
Right.
I opened it up on Safari or whatever, and it told me it was Party Next Door, which threw me. It absolutely threw me. But, I had to think back on, okay, what did Party Next Door drop this year?
Yeah.
And obviously he dropped his album...
Party Mobile.
Party Mobile, which I loved at the time. I still do love. But I still couldn't really make sense of it because it wasn't one of my favourite albums. It was a good album for sure, but it wasn't one of the albums that I had highly ranked. But then in thinking about it more, I was like, okay, no. It was one of the first few albums to drop this year. Last year, should I say. And it was because it was one of the first ones, it was an album that I listened to a lot, like all the time, because it was the first like glimmer of new music we got. However, in saying that, it is also justified because he did release one of the best songs of last year, and I do stand by that wholeheartedly. Because Savage Anthem,
don't hold your breath. I
had to hold that up like 7 times just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Wait, don't wait on my love.
Don't wait on it. Don't wait on it.
You gonna suffocate.
Yo, you know how crazy it is to harmonize Toxicity? It is nuts.
I'm still waiting for KK to put him in a split.
Oh, fam.
Because I love that album that Kehlani dropped. It was good until it wasn't. But she needs to put him in a split. I need her. Like, this is the beef I needed. I didn't know I needed R&B beef like this.
I can't lie, Party Next Door went crazy on that song.
Her number 2 is your man now. First of all, his name is Kyrie Irving.
Man, he called him number 2. He hasn't won number 2 in 2 years. Oh man. Did it shocked you? The Party was number 1? It shocked me, but then in that same breath,
yeah, you rationalize it.
I can rationalize it, and it's like if I tell someone else, oh, Party Next Door was my most listened to artist,
yeah,
they're not gonna look at me and say why. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, you love Party Next Door. Like it makes better sense.
Yeah.
So I can't be angry at it, I'm happy to be honest because we went a long while there without any Party Next Door music. But I digress. Paul. Yeah. I'm gonna flip the question and ask it back to you. What was your most listened to artist of the year?
Who else is it gonna be?
You, man.
Janae. Who else is it gonna be?
This nigga and his spiritual bondage to
yeah. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm in soul ties. Like, who else was it actually gonna be? This one, it's another one. It shocked me when I saw it, and then whenever I sit back and rationalize it, it makes total sense. I have like a bed playlist, like a playlist of songs that I listen to before I go to bed pretty much every night. And Janae's Blue Dream is on there. Blue Dream is one of my favorite songs of all time. So I listen to Blue Dream all the time. So I literally listen to Blue Dream before I go to sleep. Then if I'm ever in a situation where I just want to like relax or meditate or just vibe out, I'm usually running to Blue Dream as the initial song. If not that whole sold out deluxe album. Then like throughout the summer, I was listening to my Vibe playlist a lot. And I mean, you can already guess it's just bare Janae. It's actually disgusting about Janae. Like the worst is on there, like Comfort in Ending, like Trip, like Sativa, just bare Janae just wrapped in one, right? And then obviously she released Chilombo, which I really did like as an album. It does not deserve to be up for a Grammy for Album of the Year.
Is it up for a Grammy?
Bro, Album of the Year. Not even an R&B album. Album of the Year.
This is why the only awards that really matter are the two songs.
I did, I was like, wait, what? Like, it didn't deserve to be up there, but it was a really good album. It was an album that I enjoyed. A really great vibe. It's also an hour-long album. And so if you play it and you listen to it, it's a lot of music to consume. Yeah. And then, if you listen to Big Sean, you're listening to Janae. If you listen to Kehlani's album, you're listening to Janae. If you listen to Summer Walker's album from 2019, which I did, you're listening to Janae. So she's also a feature artist who you see almost every Ty Dolla Sign's album, you're listening to Janae. Like you see it everywhere. So, so yeah, Janae.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
We still waiting for the interview, JJ.
Oh man. That interview, I'm going crazy. Let me not lie.
They can't get me. They can't.
I'm making a fool of myself.
They can't give me a Janae interview.
You see that news reporter that was giving her the little interview? That'd be me for the whole 1 hour.
The whole hour and 55 minutes.
No,
and then right at the end, I just said, I could snuff Sean. that's what. Just look. Hey, I could snuff Sean. Because that's how they used to do it back in the day. Like, we would fight for your honor.
Bam! I've been watching Bear Bridges
recently. On my Bridget
we will link up at dawn.
You will meet me at dawn.
I'm trying to keep you on integrity.
You will meet me at dawn, Big Sean.
I'm coming 2028.
Yo, every day we get closer. Every day we get closer. Oh, man. 2020 was a long year.
So long.
A long year. So that's why I was surprised. It's a lot of music for me to still be with Janae. Like a lot of rap came out.
Better. Towards the end,
especially towards that backwater. But Janae number one.
It's fair enough. As I said before, it's not random.
If you just had to randomly take a guess, no idea, based on who you may think may release or not, and based on people who you listen to, who do you think towards the end of 2021, who's at least one artist you think will definitely be in your top 5?
Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson Paak gonna be there for sure.
Makes sense.
I have no doubt. If he drops an album, he's gonna be my number 1.
Makes sense.
What about you?
Probably Benny.
I see that.
Probably Benny.
Yeah. Especially we already know he's sitting on the album.
He's sitting on 2.
So if you drop both,
and he's sitting on a Drake feature.
But in that same
which may be alluding to what's coming later in this podcast.
It could be. It very much could be.
Who knows? But in that same breath, you're saying.
In that same breath, we know that Kendrick and Cole are supposed to be dropping this year. And this year can be looking crazy for the top 10. It can be, if anyone wants to win.
It's a lot of anomalies, man. I also want to say, following this lockdown, I'm back in concert bag, bro. I'm back in concert bag.
What, after the lockdown?
Yeah. I'm going to every single one. Every single one.
Fam, I'm going to get into it later today. But, I've missed concerts so much.
Fam, I didn't deep it until, because I was so done with concerts. And then just this, I had 2 concerts, because I was meant to go and see Janae.
Yeah.
And I literally had Snow Allegra tickets booked. So those are 2 concerts I missed. And I deep the amount of albums that came out. I was like, I need to be just in a room full of drugged up white people watching them jump around and bounce to this while I listen to this, my favourite artist play this album.
I think the one thing I've, not deep, but I've sort of decided for myself, I think from now on when I do concerts, I think I'm done with the whole standing part.
Definitely. That's the thing. I deep that when I saw Tyler Creator, 2019. We was in we weren't on the floor seats, we were in the stands. And so we ended up in someone's VIP booth because my niggas are finesse. Shout out, you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. The one who bought me this mic, my homie. But yeah, we ended up and I was just sat there. I was watching these guys jump and do mosh pits. I was like, I'm so much more comfortable and enjoying myself so much more in these stands. Yep. I really don't need to be in a mosh pit. I'm 36.
That's a 36.
Me and LeBron are the same age. I don't need to be doing
this. Oh my days.
We digress. Bam. We got a podcast to get to.
I hope you guys feel like you know us better.
I hope you that gave you a little bit of insight into who we are, what makes us tick. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? At some point,
we
need to challenge the people with making us a playlist.
No, that's for real.
Because they don't even know. We have a playlist of just our intros and outros that's going crazy.
Bro, we'll put it out. Track 16, we're going to do a pop quiz. They're going to have to call in and tell me what my favourite artist is.
Oh, man.
See if they've really been doing their homework.
A lot of people are going to get the right answer and you're going to say that they didn't. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, that's the fact.
People are going to call in and say, oh, J. Cole. I'm like, no.
Wrong!
Like, no, niggas, they're right. Let's be honest.
Haha, gotta begin. What are we talking about today, man? Take us there. Let me and the people know what we are in this room to do.
We're talking about an artist who's been at the centre of a lot of discussions over the last 12 years?
Yep.
What else can I say about him other than he's a very talented artist. He has some of the greatest albums that have dropped again over the last 10 years.
Yep.
But he's also had some albums that have been the centre of discussion.
Yeah, I think It's a very talented guy.
Mm.
Very eclectic body of work. Huge body of work.
Mm.
A lot to get into. But I think it's just easiest to say that he's a legend.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If Drake dies, he's a legend.
Immediately, off rip.
We are, of course, here to talk to you about October's very own. From the 6. Some call him Aubrey. Some call him Drake. You know who it is, man.
Come on, man.
The Owl, OVO.
It's crazy because some of you guys, a select few, figured out who we're going to be talking about this week.
Very select few.
And the people who didn't, it's probably because, I don't want to assume, but it's probably because you don't follow our Instagram page.
Maybe.
At __ stubborn _ Nigerians.
Do that one more time because I don't think I caught it for real.
I'll slow it down for you guys.
Please do.
At
yes sir.
__ stubborn _ Nigerians. Okay. Bet.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Here to talk about Drake. The legend that is. This is it's been coming. Every now and again on this podcast, I've made little snide comments. I don't want to give this nigga free clout. So, for real, I'm not even going to say nothing this episode.
That's it. Alright, cool. I'm wrapping us up.
You played us out?
Yeah,
Nigerian never carry on.
Come on, man.
Nah, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say.
That's the thing. Especially when we decided that we're doing the Drake episodes.
Yeah.
It was very easy to say, yeah, cool, let's do that. Because it's like, okay, we have so much content we can give.
So much.
Because a lot of people won't know. Drake is an artist that somehow we won't... every single episode we've done, we've actually spoken about Drake off the mic.
Yo, listen, like, I did to... As we were planning this, like... Because, you know, I say, like, I genuinely joke and I say it, like, I don't want to give this nigga free clout, right? Every podcast since episode 5, there's been a Drake quote.
Yep.
Because every podcast I start by saying, it's the guy that gives you the look, the verse, even the hook. Which is a Drake quote. Like, he's so inevitable. It's so inevitable. Like, he's just there. Like,
nah, man, this is going to be a very interesting one. I think the biggest challenge with this one will be keeping it nice and concise, but we'll do it.
This is what we do. We're professional podcasters, man. We got back catalogue. Go listen to Say Her Name, track 2. See who we are.
We have hours of back catalogue.
We have hours of back catalogue.
Man.
But let's start. I want to start by doing some quick fires.
All
right. I want to shoot out some questions. I just want to give you. I want you to give me as quick an answer as you can relating to the artist known as Drake.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into our little deep dive, let's just try to get these bang it out. All right.
Alright.
What's your favorite Drake song?
Favorite Drake song would have to be. It would probably be Lord Knows. Rick Ross.
Best Drake song. What is his best song, objectively speaking?
4 p.m. in Calabasas.
Okay. What's your favorite Drake feature verse? My
favorite Drake feature verse?
Yeah.
This is so funny. I want to give a deep dive into this, but I'll do it later. It would have to be Aston Martin Music.
Okay. And what is your favorite Drake moment?
See, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. It'll be very easy for me to say the first time I saw him live, where he came out, funnily enough, to the song Legend, and it was just an iconic moment.
Yeah.
But I think bigger than that would be again, I didn't get to go to his last tour that he did in the UK, but when he brought out J Hus, and J Hus had been in jail before that, and we were all waiting for him to come out.
What? Yeah, wow, what a moment!
That was a beautiful moment. But then potentially bigger than that, and I might be stepping on your toes here. I don't know if this was potentially one of your moments as well, but him announcing that Top Boy is coming back was big. It was massive. But probably J Hus moment is probably the biggest for me.
Fair.
But, you know, I digress.
Yeah.
Paul, let's flip those questions back to you.
Okay.
So, first question. Favorite Drake song?
Tuscan Leather.
Best Drake song?
5 a.m. in Toronto.
Okay, I like the fact that it's both times.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's time zones. It's time zones.
Favorite Drake feature?
This is a toss-up. And I'm going to go with this one because I played the other one as the intro song. Successful. Intro song.
I like that.
Speaking of which, if I can, I don't know if you're going to hear this, but whoever the woman was that told Drake that he'd never be as big as Trey Songz, I hope you've apologized. I hope you've repented. Because there's being wrong.
Yo.
And then there's whatever she was on.
Fam, you know how crazy you look now? Like...
Is Trey Songz even as big as Trey Songz?
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. To be so, like, confidently wrong.
Like...
That's another... Eventually, we're going to get into Clubhouse as well.
Yeah.
Where people have been very confidently wrong. But we'll say
that's another day.
Alright, final question. Favorite Drake moment?
I am going to go the easy route. Seeing him at Wireless for the first time in 2015, the way he came out, it was too legend, like you said, and it was the most gangster moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the most gangster moment. Like, we saw Kanye West come out the year before. Yeah. And the way he came out was like, yeah, I'm Kanye West. But the way Drake came out is, yo, I'm motherfucking Drake. Like, I don't even need to say a word. I'm going to have 120,000 people singing every single word out of key. Yeah. Yep, out of key. Out of key, off beat. But I'm the one.
And then this nigga went straight into trophies. Just like that.
Banging records on my table. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, why did we... So, that's a nice little quick fight. Why did we want to do a Drake episode?
Why did we want to do a Drake episode? That's a good question. I feel like it was one of the things... Like you said it. Drake is inevitable.
Yeah.
Both me and you...
Yeah.
We were early fans of Drake.
Facts.
I think anyone from our secondary school...
Facts.
There's no way that anyone can say they weren't an early fan of Drake because we were all...
Every single one. It just depends on when you jumped on the bandwagon. Like...
people will be walking around the school with speakers of playing Drake.
We quoted Drake more than we quoted our planet. Like our school motto, our school planet. Like, I don't even know what the Latin was on my planet that I had for 5 years, but I know every word to Bedrock.
Oh my god. Like, I feel like... we're, as us two specifically as well, we've seen Drake grow through his career.
Yeah.
We've had thoughts on every single album that he's dropped throughout his career.
Yeah.
We've had thoughts on every single loose track that he's dropped on his career.
Man.
And as you, like, fam, this is someone who, I don't know anyone over the last 5 years specifically as well, who would not know what's going on with Drake or what he's dropping because he is the biggest artist in the world right now.
So you alluded to it, you know, we've been on as fans for years, dating back to our secondary school days. Like you said, everyone in our secondary school was in some way, shape or form playing that nigga, like, everywhere. What was your, like, earliest memory of, like, Drake? When did you become a fan? Like, just take me back to that time for you. As best as you can remember it.
It's a crazy one because the first time I heard Drake, I was a fan, but it took me a while to really become a fan. So the first time I heard Drake, I'd gone home from school, did my homework, and now, as it was my ritual at the time, I'd gone to, sit in front of the TV, and I turned on 106.
Come on, man.
Because that's what the
Come on, man.
There's nothing else you're supposed to do.
Rahim, I can't remember what episode it was, but remember I said we're completely different, we're the same person?
Yes, sir.
You'll figure out when I get to my story.
I turned on 106 in Park.
Yep.
They were doing their top 10.
Yeah.
They were checking off everything that I was expecting to be there.
Come on.
And then I think it must have been number 2 or 3 at the time. And Bedrock comes on. A song that at that time I had never heard before.
Ooh,
but
baby, I can make it ain't come true.
Baby, wanna spend it all on you. Baby,
call me Mr. Flintstone. Shout out Lloyd. Shout out Lloyd. You want to talk about Mr. Hitmaker?
Whoa.
Dedication to my ex.
Whoa.
She's 5'2". But that doesn't make sense. It's fine too. I don't know why he allowed the internet to boycott him and say she's 5'2". It doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy. It's really nuts.
Get it, shawty.
Fam. So, from there,
obviously,
this song called Bedrock comes on by Young Money.
Yeah.
At the time, I'll be honest, I didn't really know who Young Money was. But I saw Lil Wayne, I was like, oh, I like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
I saw Lloyd. I said, oh, I like Lloyd.
Yeah.
So I let it rock. And then they'll just go through all these artists. And at that time, I think the most genius thing they did with that music video was put their name
Facts.
next to each
oh
artist
my
that they
goodness.
came on.
It's so simplistic, but it's so important. Simple.
And it was just like that alone, it meant that, okay, I now know that this is Drake.
Mm-hmm.
This is Nicki. And obviously, Drake's verse started, and he was just looking cool in the bathroom. I was like, I like this guy.
I like this guy. Savvy. I race for your left, shake and bake, Ricky Bobby. I'm at the W, but I can't meet you in the lobby. Girl, I gotta wash my back, cause I'm not just anybody. Oh, my, rest in peace,
fam. Do you know what? It was crazy, innit? Because I don't know, that moment in the song, I was like, okay, yeah. This guy, Tyga, and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for those guys wherever I can now.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't heard of anyone before that song. Mm-hmm. And then it took a while, innit? Because I heard Drake every now and then, here and there. And I liked him. I was definitely a fan. But it was... No, what am I even saying? Because Over came out. Over was literally straight after that. Very, very soon after that run. And Over went great. Over was one of my favorite Drake songs for time. Period. But it wasn't really until the Motto came out.
Wow.
And the Motto was making waves throughout our school specifically. Like, you couldn't move. You could not. But if I wanted to go to my next class, I had to go through a hallway.
Yeah, you had to quote it.
But if I was going through a hallway, someone was playing the Motto through their speaker.
You had to quote it. Like, it was an entry. Like, you couldn't enter form without quoting it.
Yo, everyone was saying YOLO everywhere you went. Like, it was just great. But that song, that's when I was like, okay, no.
Man, them were getting sent to head of year's office. YOLO.
Yeah, man. Like, what did you just say to me? Get out of my class.
Yo, get out of my class. YOLO. Niggas did not care. Oh my goodness.
Nah, that was the song for me that took me from being let me not say it took me from being Drake fan to Stan, because I'm not Stan. But it took Drake, in my eyes, from, okay, he's an artist that I really like, to one of the best artists right now. I remember it was even it was after prom. I don't even know if you remember this. After prom,
what did I do?
We obviously went back to yours, innit?
Yeah.
And I was tired. I was dead. I was supposed to watch Scarface, and I fell asleep on the sofa.
Yeah.
And I think you changed it, and you started listening to music on MTV or whatever.
Yeah.
And the Motto came on. I remember I just stood up. I just awoke from my slumber. I stood up. That mother, your little boss, that's mother making it. I was like, yo. The song finished. I went back to sleep.
Oh man, I remember. Fucking hell.
What about you, man? What's your earliest Drake memories?
Bro, pretty much the exact same. I was home one day. And so there was one day when I was just watching BET's 106 in Park, as you do. And I can't remember what song it was from So Far Gone. I think it might have been Houston and Vegas was on the chart. And it was one of them where they just played a snippet because it didn't make high enough to play the whole thing. So I was like, oh, this sounds cool. And then a few weeks later, and it would have been just a few weeks before the time you're saying, because I watched an episode where Drake and Nicki were in studio to world premiere Bedrock. And that was the first time. And Nicki's hair was crazy. I did not like the way it looked. It just was just big hair. I was like, who is this weird looking? And that was back when Drake's dad stood for do right and kill everything. Like back in those days.
I remember that.
That's why I hate this nigga. Anyway, but that's why back in those days, right? And the song played. And I was like, wait, what? Like, who is this guy? Like, why is he so debonair? Like, why is he so dapper? Like, what? And so that's when I was looking out for him. Cool. Forever came. Not too long after that. Yeah. LeBron in the video. That's back when I hated LeBron for no other reason than the fact that he wasn't Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Man.
But now, LeBron's a champion with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
That's all we do is win titles. That's all we do. That's all we do. Championship. Huh? What? Come talk to me when you're in double-digit titles. When you get there, then we can talk. Other than that, I don't talk to no one other than the Celtics about basketball. Jason Tatum can come and talk to me. That's it. Shout out Marc Gasol. That was a cheap shot. Yeah, that was a cheap shot.
I can't fight. I'll fight over my guys.
That was a cheap shot. But yeah, so Forever came out, and he was obviously spitting next to Kanye West, who at the time was biggest rapper, best rapper on the planet. Lil Wayne coming off the Carter 3, and Eminem, who spat one of his best verses.
Yep.
Yeah, really ever, but definitely one of his best verses, 2009 onwards. But I really became a big fan a year after that, 2010, when he, Lil Wayne, and Big Sean hopped on All of the Lights remix.
Okay.
And that was very close to being another one of my favorite Drake features, but Drake came on there and was just went insane. It was one of those ones where he had the last verse, Sean went crazy, Wayne went crazy, and then Drake just came and said, "Let me show these niggas that I'm different." And he did, and that's when I said, "Okay, I'm really taken aback by this guy, because not only do you have the hits, not only can you you can really just rap, you can get." And I've seen you do it now on multiple occasions, that you can get in a room with some spitters and just spit hot fire.
Yep, hot fire. Wow.
Shout out my nigga Super Hot Fire. Naps. I take that.
Nah, yeah, I hear it. Drake has really been staple of the culture for a minute now.
He had taught. Let's get into it, because obviously there's a reason we wanted to do this, is because there's so much to say about him. There's so many different ways that we can go. And we were having a very deep, interesting conversation off mic, which as soon as we started to have it, you were like, "Shut up, let's save for the mic." So let's get into it. What do we let's just talk. What do we make of this guy's career?
Of Drake's career. It's funny because I think you can see it in his albums as well. We're gonna get into it later. But his first few, you could hear, oh, okay, this guy trying to prove himself, trying to get on. And when he was in his early career, I think him trying to prove himself, he was trying to tell us, I'm the best hit. Like he just said it. He hopped on the All the Lights remix, and it was different. He went on a run there, a massive run.
Yeah.
Was yo, this guy is top 3.
Yeah.
He's top 3. You cannot tell anyone different. You can tell me personally different that he was not top 3. Now, later in his career, it's getting to a point, and I think the changing point for me anyway was Views, where there was obviously a lot of hype going into that album. It was coming off of Nothing Was the Same.
No, it's coming off of If You're Reading This.
Yeah, it was coming off of If You're Reading This Too Late. And there was a lot of excitement, oh, okay, Drake's about to go crazy. He's dropping an album. He'd been talking about this album for the last year, blah, blah, blah. And he was dropping songs. Every song, all you heard was views. So everyone was excited. Then the album came out. And I sort of forced myself to like it for about a week. And then after that week passed, I was like, no, Rahim, be honest with yourself. Do you really like this album? No, I didn't. And I feel like that was the slow sort of decline to Drake having gone from trying to prove myself, I'm trying to prove that I belong in the top 3, to I'm going to be in the top 3 because I have projects that should mean that I'm in the top 3. But for now, I'm just going to be releasing music, if that makes sense.
So overall, are you as a fan, are you happy with his career?
I'm happy with his career in that, we started off the segment saying if Drake never releases another project, if he dies, God forbid, if he dies a legend. Because, he's given us albums that, for me, would be the best of the 2010 to 2020 era.
Okay.
I'd have to be happy with his career. I don't think it would be fair to say otherwise.
Are you satisfied with where he is as an artist now?
No.
Why?
Because Drake not only has shown us that he can be better than what his last 2 albums for me, which is Scorpion and Dark Lane Demo.
If you count that as an album, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm counting both of those, then it would then say, no, I'm not happy with where he is as an artist today.
Okay.
Because I look at what he's done before that. It's similar to when we're talking about Bryson Tiller. I look at your first album and I say, okay, this is the greatness you did. For Drake is even worse because I look at your first few albums, I say, this is the greatness you did there. And because of that greatness, I'll put you in my top 3. So now, in my top 3, my top 3, the company you're holding is Kendrick and J. Cole. So those 2 are literally, every time they drop an album, in my head I'm thinking, okay, is it a classic? Is it not a classic? Okay, if it's not a classic, how far off of it is it from being a classic? And then with Drake, I'm hearing the albums now, and I'm just like, okay, it's cool. Yeah, no. This is kind of good. Yeah, no, I like it, but it's never really classic talk anymore. I'm not happy because that's the air that Drake should be in, but he's not trying to prove it to me anymore. He's not. Which, yeah, I guess he doesn't have to prove himself, but if you want people to carry on seeing you as top 3, then that's the competition that you have to keep.
Yeah.
What about you?
If you give me the floor, I might be here for a while.
Indeed.
I'm in no way personally satisfied as a fan, and I say everything I say to everyone. I say everything I say is about Drake comes solely from the point of me being a fan. Like, you know me, if I'm not a fan of someone, I don't talk about them. I really don't care. Like, I can't give you 30-minute deep dive on Chance the Rapper because I'm not a fan. I can give you I can give you an hour on this guy. I'm not a fan because his music hasn't aged. He hasn't grown up with his music in the way that I feel like he should, and especially in the way that I know his peers have. Drake placed himself through his own greatness. His own greatness, no one else's. His own greatness placed himself in an era where you say J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and you're absolutely right. But that's also an era where you're Jay-Z, Kanye West, Lauryn Hill, whatever name you want to bring up. Drake did push himself into that. His early music became timeless. And one of my issues is that when I look at all those artists who would be in that vein, in that bracket, they have music that applies to every single stage of my life. Drake doesn't have that. And it really compounds itself when you just look. The last one of these type episodes we did was Miss Lauryn Hill for the Miseducation. That's one album by one woman. And we talked about how neither of us have a child yet. But what about when To Zion comes on and we have children? It's going to take a different meaning, right?
Yeah.
Neither of us have a child yet. But hearing Jay-Z legacy, imagine what that means. I hadn't even finished my GCSEs yet. But hearing J. Cole say to the college kids, no scholarship starting next semester, I already knew what I was doing my first day of college. I don't have a child yet. But when I do, I can't imagine myself saying, I'm not hiding my child from the world. I was hiding my world from the kid. Like, no shade. That's how he felt. That's what he wanted to do. Cool. But that's not the timeless way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways that you grow, and I don't think he's grown as an artist. I think he's decided to go younger. I say it all the time. Like, I've always said this from the moment the song came out. When he said, I'm going to get the song wrong. I can't remember if it was Sacrifices or
Sacrifices.
I think it was Sacrifices. It was when he said when Kendall was turning 21, I was up the street with 21. I heard that and I thought, that's cool. Why were you up the street with 21 Savage? 21 Savage isn't your age mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really that was really my first thought. Like, 21 Savage isn't your age mate.
Yeah.
And there's no context. It's not like Cole said, I was on my way home, 21. I went to the studio, I see 21 in there with his kids. I said, that's beautiful, man. Let me rap for you real quick. And like you were saying, you were just hanging out with 21 Savage. Like, 21 Savage isn't your age mate. Like, what's going on there? Millie Bobby Brown isn't your age mate. Like, what is going on there? Georgia Smith isn't your age mate. Hi, Georgia. What is going on there? Right? Like, and so I sat there, I was like, okay. But then I'm also seeing the music downturn in age. And then the music from before isn't necessarily applying to my now in the way that I would have hoped, you know?
Right. Okay.
Cole has songs that he released when he was 23, when I was 13, that now that I'm 23, I see the meaning of them.
Yeah.
Me, I don't have money, right?
Yeah.
I'm broke. Silver and gold, I have none, Sha. But what I have, I give unto thee. And what I have is my words, and so I give them to you. Silver and gold, I have none. So me personally, I've never been to Houston.
Yeah.
I've also never been to Atlanta. I've also never been to Vegas. On top of that, I've never fallen in love with a stripper from Houston, Atlanta, or Vegas. So the heartbreak that he's construing, gets. I don't understand it, Sha. Because I don't get that heartbreak. Personally, same with Freddie Gibbs. When Freddie Gibbs is talking about, it really hurt me when I saw her dancing at Floyd's house. Yeah. That's the tax bracket I'm not involved in.
Yeah, at all.
Me and Floyd don't even know each other like that. Let alone do we have women that roll in the same circle. If we do, Jesus is Lord.
Yo, that's crazy. That means I've achieved something that I'm not
I didn't want to be in that bracket. Like, at all. So like even the lessons that were there in the early albums, I'm starting to get older and realize they're not actually as poignant to me now as some of his contemporaries' lessons were then are now. And that's a sign of someone who like his music from the past hasn't aged with his audience, and his music now. I mean, we've said it off mic. We might as well say it on air. What is Tootsie Slide?
That's something of nonsense. That song is really not, because it's I was actually just about to ask as well, because Drake is an artist who is sort of known for, at this point in his career anyway, he's known for being able to diversify his music ahead of schedule.
He's a chameleon.
Yeah. Like, he'll have a sound that is working, but he'll very much change it before the culture forces him to change out a bit, if it makes sense.
I disagree.
Do you?
I disagree that he'll change it before.
I think he changes it pretty, because, like, how can I put it? An album like Nothing Was the Same, that album was doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
And the year after, if you dropped that album a year after, it wouldn't have been aged out. That sound would have still been, cool. That's like a very cool, like till this day, I think that sound could work.
Yeah.
But he very much ahead of schedule decided, okay, no, if you're reading this too late, I'm gonna a whole different route.
But I don't think it was ahead of schedule. I just think I think he saw the at max, you could say, before it got huge. But even then, when did If We Were Reading This It's Too Late come out?
But it's not even. I'm not saying ahead of schedule in terms of okay, like there's a schedule, there's a time limit to when you have to do it. I'm saying ahead of schedule in terms of you didn't have to change it for you to carry on being successful in it.
No, that's true. Yeah. That's true. He could still stay, but I think that's also been a problem with like the changing in sound means you never really perfect the sound. Mm-hmm. And although you can be good at something, like when he tries to do like What a Time to Be Alive, he's not better than Future at that. You know what I'm saying? He's not better at like trap sounds than Travis Scott is.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like he's not better at rapping than Kendrick or Jvck. Like he's not even necessarily better at melancholy rap vibes than Kanye was on 808s and Heartbreaks. So it's like and this is why he's so great. Is he'd probably be top 5 in all of them, but which one are you number 1 in? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you and I will disagree, but like you will objectively say, no, the best rapper pound for pound is Kendrick Lamar, and I'll say the best rapper pound for pound is J. Cole. We're both definitive that they're number 1. Yeah. But I don't think you would ever hear someone be definitive that Drake's number 1 in that. No, let alone would we say he's definitive number 1 at rapping and singing. Let alone we say he's definitive number 1 as rappers that sing or singers that rap. Like, you see what I'm saying? So you're jack of all trades, master of none. And I feel like, again, to get to your point of like changing before he needed to, I also feel like you're changing because you're chasing something. And as someone who is as great as you are, you don't ever need to chase. You don't ever need to chase.
Yeah, I think that chasing point is very poignant because someone like Drake as well, like you look back to More Life, where it became very apparent, okay, no, Drake is really trying to get involved in this UK sort of like sound. Which, on one hand I love it in general, the idea of, okay, an artist like Santan Dave, who at the time was relatively small, Drake can hop on a remix. Okay. And that song become much bigger than what it was originally.
Did it?
A lot bigger.
Did it?
Yes. I think the people who would have known about Santan Dave...
Where did it become bigger?
In the UK. If at very least, I don't know what it did in America because I'm not in America, but I know in the UK that song then went crazy.
Did that song need Drake on it for it to go crazy?
It didn't need Drake on it to go crazy, but it didn't go crazy until Drake hopped on it.
I disagree. I disagree with that because I saw Dave at 17 years old, before he would have been allowed into my uni SU, was performing main stage as a main event at my uni SU off that song. So that's one of the reasons I disagree. This is a point I've had about Drake on this UK point, right? And I'm glad that you got into it. I've never seen the value of him doing this UK thing. It's never actually... I don't know the metrics. There could be numbers that prove me completely wrong, right? I'm not in that world. But just from what I see in terms of conversations I have and the way things go, I don't think it's ever benefited a UK artist having Drake on their song.
I don't know.
Or being on a song with Drake. Maybe only at bare minimum Skepta. Bare minimum Skepta with that shutdown run and having Drake promo it. But like, I look, and it's great that you said more life.
Mm-hmm.
Look at gigs.
Yeah.
Look at KMT.
Yeah.
Look at how it was received in the UK.
Yeah.
You've been at raves when KMT gets played. What happens?
Crazy.
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
In the US, what was the conversation when that came out? They hated it, right? It didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at just this past year, 2020, the track that Drake was on with Headie One.
Yeah.
The most prominent music podcast like this,
mm-hmm.
This is going to be shocking to so many people. It's not the Two Stubborn Nigerians.
Oh, bro.
It's crazy.
I can't believe, even me.
It's crazy. But these guys have some time. They have some time in that takes them ahead of us. It's the Joe Budden podcast, right? Okay. I remember when that Headie One and Drake song came out, and they spoke about it on the on the Joe Budden podcast. They didn't talk about Headie One at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
They spoke about Drake.
Yeah.
They were confused as to why Drake did the song. They were confused as to who Headie One was. They said, why is Drake on a song beefing Stormzy? When that wasn't the case at all.
At all.
So if that's the most prominent music speaking podcast platform, definitely in the US, which mostly would likely mean in the world, and it doesn't do anything for Headie One there, and people in the UK didn't like it, how did that help Headie One? Bearing in mind, you know who Headie One is in this country. Yeah. We know what Headie One's album did in this country. Headie One didn't need that. So I just want to finish it, sorry. So all those times when I've heard Drake in an interview say, would you rather me not show love? There's other ways you can show love than doing this, because this isn't actually helping. Again, I don't know metrics. The numbers may help, and the numbers equal the money, so I'm sure that helps the artist. But just from what I see, it never looks like it actually helps.
See, I think when you look at them individually, like how you just did, yeah, it may look like that way. In that, yeah, cool. He's not necessarily helping. However, especially looking at the last 5 years. Let's look at the last 2 years. I don't know if the UK sound as a whole does what it's doing now without Drake's influence somehow, one way or the other.
How so?
You have to look at what UK music is, what the sound is doing around the world now. Like, drill is very much an international sound. From the point where Armani Caesar can release an album with Drill-A-Rama on it, and it is making the waves it did. I don't know if we necessarily get that, or if we get necessarily a Pop Smoke without, at some point, Drake highlighting what's happening in the UK, and it becoming more of a topic.
Nah, I think you're reaching.
I think all of it matters.
I think you're reaching. I think that's reaching. Because even that sounds like it's a disservice to Chicago drill scene, which started this all off. So that's the whole Chief Keef, King Louis, all of those guys in Chicago that started this shit off 2011, 2012. That I spoke about on this podcast before, that created the earthquake when all of a sudden my white people, shout out Marco, started listening to black music. I'm like, holy shit, what is going on here? And then UK guys came, flipped it, broke it down, put it into crack. You can tell I've caught up on Snowfall in it. Woo! Shout out Franklin Saint. Season 4 coming. Season 4? Yeah, Season 4 coming soon. Put that officer in a split. But yeah, like...
That's spoiler alert.
You should have watched it by now. Like, if I have... no, but like, I just feel like I don't see that being the case, because again it goes to that point of like, we in the UK don't need the US to be successful.
Yeah. No,
so like, these guys are already successful. Before Drake hopped on a Headie One verse, before KD shouted out Headie One's about they left Earth, like Headie One already had No Better and Golden Boot, and he was already Headie One in this country. Before, like, without, I don't know, have Dave and Drake worked together since? No. That I know of? No? Psychodrama is still Psychodrama. That album was still that album, right? So, like, before Drake tweeted, yeah, I got Top Boy back. Top Boy was Top Boy. Do you know what I'm saying? If Drake hadn't tweeted that, maybe the waves it made in the US don't happen. But Top Boy in the UK would have been the same thing. That series would have had the same impact that it did in the UK. So I think that, again, I don't think that's him curating things. I don't know what he does behind the scenes. I'm just going on what I know.
I'm not even saying that it's necessarily him curating it or is 100% like due to him. But I think for us to say, oh, okay, one of the reasons that the UK sound is now going international, one of the reasons why we are starting to see, like, I can't remember who it was, but it shocked me. I think it was Kalani on someone in the UK's song. I can't remember who it was. But either way, like the reasons why we're starting to see international features on our songs here, or we're seeing our guys on songs where we wouldn't necessarily expect to see them, or we're seeing Drill do waves around the world the way that we're seeing it. I think it would be unfair to not somewhat give Drake his credit.
But where does that lie? Because in that same vein, then I have to give all the credit to Kanye West because he was on American Boy on the American Boy song. That means I have to give so much credit to A$AP Rocky because Praise the Lord is Praise the Lord.
I give credit. I give a lot.
But you can actually tangibly see where A$AP Rocky is because he's in the studio with Skepta. Like they talk, they have a relationship. Like seriously.
See, and I can also go back and give credit to Kanye because it's like okay, maybe not for the American Boy, but when he came and did what's that song? All Day, yeah, and he performed All Day at the Brits with all the BBK with him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big moment. And then Drake doing these songs that he's doing now. As you said, like, yeah, we haven't necessarily seen, like, flat out, oh, this is the result. This artist has now gotten this much bigger, whereas before he was this big. I think everything works together. And yeah, you might not see it immediately, but to just straight out say, oh, there's no help there. Or it's done
I'm not saying no help. I'm not even saying he's done nothing. I'm just saying, like, there's no need for him to be given thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no, because then you can give thanks to every single. I mean, we right now we could give thanks to Armani Caesar for making Trilorama, right? Like we can, and that's just okay. Like cool, we can give thanks to everyone. Yeah, shout out Kehlani for jumping on Westerns into. Like shout out, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, that's just how music is. Like there are niggas in the UK who have features with niggas in South Africa. They're like. Davido and Trippie, right? Like people have just Davido and Lowski were just on a song. Like these things just happen. That's music. It's an international culture. Music gets spread everywhere. We're globalized. I can and I do go into my phone and listen to artists from India. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but the shit slaps, nigga. The fuck. And so now if you have two English speaking countries, of course, like they're naturally gonna amalgamate and make songs. Like we just talked about, MF Doom is considered, rest in peace, one of the best rappers of all time to an American audience. Nigga's English. Slick Rick is English. Like that shit like that just naturally happens. I don't think that's something that we have to say. In the same way, I wouldn't say we have to give Kanye West credit for it or we have to give X, Y, Z credit for it. I also don't think we have to give Drake credit for it because it's just like, I think these things would have, especially in the era that we are in, with social media where people can promote themselves and your music can just reach wider easily, that would have happened regardless, is what I'm saying. Top Boy would have been the success it was this most recent season, regardless. Especially because Drake didn't shout out Downton Abbey, look how Downton Abbey did in the US. Drake didn't shout out The Bodyguard, look how The Bodyguard did in the US. Drake didn't shout out Black Earth Rising, look how Black Earth Rising did in the US. They love our limited series in the US, bro, because we do it better than them.
Fair, that's fair. I'll give you that.
But let's flip switch so that we don't, stay in a tangent. Has Drake fallen off?
Has Drake fallen off?
Yeah. What does fallen off mean?
Yeah, because I think you very much have to specify what you mean by that. If you're saying, has Drake lost his ability that he had early in his career? I don't necessarily think so.
What to find that? Because you're talking in vaguities, man.
I am talking vaguities because it's tough. It's very tough to specify. Is Drake capable of making a song to the quality of the songs I loved in his early career? I don't necessarily think he's lost that ability. No, because Drake will hop on a feature, and I will remember. Oh yeah, no, this is what Drake does. Like Drake has bars. Drake can really rap. Like, I remember it was Scorpion last year, right? No matter
2019.
What. Man, crazy. I keep on forgetting.
19 or was 18?
Was it 18?
Yeah,
it was 18. 3 years ago. Jesus Christ. Either way, Scorpion came out, and at the same point...
Time flies when you're not listening to Scorpion.
It's not. That was something cool. But no matter what either of us think of Scorpion, because I know your feelings towards Scorpion anyway. There were songs on this album that it was like, wow, okay, no, Drake is rapping. Regardless of what we think. Like, Drake had bars on this album, especially that first half. Like, he was going crazy on some of the songs.
First half, the rap half.
Yeah. Like, what song was it? It was Emotionless, an 8 out of 10.
Emotionless is a good song.
Man.
Y'all gassed him Y'all gassed him. He tried it and it didn't work. All these people who said Drake should just release the album 1/2 rap, then 1/2 R&B. No, he shouldn't.
No.
Y'all gassed him. He did it and it didn't work.
That was never. I don't know who told him it was going to work.
Let's stick to your lane. Your name is not Anderson .Paak, nor is it her, nor is it Lauryn Hill.
Even if you're going to do it, you should just do it as 2 albums.
Fam, I don't understand this. Like, Future is giving every single one of you the blueprint. You release the drill album 1 week, then the next week you release the R&B. It's not that hard. Anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
But yeah, no, I don't think he's lost that ability necessarily. However, if you're talking about has he fallen off as the artist that he once was, I would have to say right now, yes.
You, on one of our more recent podcasts, you said that you believe Kendrick's going to drop an album.
Yeah.
And it's going to be over for people.
Yeah.
When Kendrick dropped Good Kid, Mad City, was it over for people?
Pretty much.
When Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, was it over for people? When Kendrick dropped Damn, was it over for people?
No.
Okay. You believe that Kendrick is going to drop his next album and it's going to be over for people?
Yes.
Do you believe Certified Lover Boy is going to drop and it's going to be over for people?
No.
So, to that extent, has Drake not fallen off? Because he can't get to the same level of album, which you know that people who we consider his contemporaries to be can still do.
See, in that extent, if we're talking about the albums he's making, yes, it's fallen off. Yes, like there's no 2 ways you can put it. Like he's not going to give us an album like Take Care that's literally just going to shut everything down, and we're going to be saying the second we hear it, oh yeah, this is the best album of the year. Like someone else is going to have to prove that they have the best album of the year. Like that's what Kendrick now, if he drops an album, immediately we say, okay, this is the album of the year. This is the one to beat. Drake doesn't drop albums anymore that are the one to beat, which is sad. I don't know why he stopped, because I said it before, innit? Like he was doing that consistently, and then it got to views, and it just stopped. It just stopped. Like
he can't, because you're saying stopped like he just decided he's not going to anymore. Is it that he can't?
I don't know.
This is the point. So we're into that conversation we were having off mic, right? And this is what I was saying. So I looked back in 2018 when Scorpion was about to drop. Well, before Scorpion dropped, when Pusha T dropped Daytona. By the way, we're in 2021. And I need to declare that there's not been a better rap album since Daytona than Daytona. That's my own personal opinion. We're not going to get into it. When, they had their little tiff, their little back and tiff, this nigga said, you are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. When they had their little disagreement, they're falling out.
What's that? Tick, tick, tick.
Boy, 666.
Oh my god.
In the 666.
Jesus.
When they had their little falling out, the story of Adidon is called Adidon because that was supposedly the Adidas line that Drake was going to drop pending his signing to Adidas, which had been long rumored. And as someone who was like, especially at that time, heavy in like sneaker and fashion culture, I never liked the idea of Drake being on Adidas, especially at that time and definitely not now. And I think Adidas really, really like dodged a bullet by Pusha T saved them by not allowing that thing to happen because Adidas had risen themselves to that point, and they had risen themselves. Like they were outselling Jordan in the US, which was huge. That hadn't happened in years. They were literally over the past 2 years prior to that, they were consistently outselling Jordan brand. And they had done so because of their deliberate attempts to continually create and innovate. 1 year they give you the NMD, the next year they give you the Two Blood, the next year they give you Ultra Boost, the next year they give you something else, the next year they give you something else. When they collab with Kanye, they give you new Yeezys. When they collab with Pharrell, it's new. When they collab with Push, it's new. And I looked at the Drake deal and I said, it doesn't make sense because all I've ever seen Drake do in design is slap the black and gold OVO and an owl on something that's already been made and say it's Drake collection. That's not. I don't know what he can do. Maybe he does sketch. Maybe he does, and I would love to see it. He's got his Nocta collection with Nike that I believe is out. If it's not already out, it's coming soon.
Right. Okay.
Looks great, right? But again, there's no necessarily great innovation there. It's not like Kanye in the room sketching. It's not Pusha T. I want the shoe to have snakeskin print because that's like the seats in the Maybach. Like there's not. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just give me the Raptors jersey. Okay, black and gold.
Don't do that.
That's it. Nike designed a Raptors jersey, and he says, okay, make it black and then make it gold. And that's it. And I didn't like it because it's the same as what Jordan brand has been doing, which is I'm going to get my age-old sneakers from the 90s, and I'm just going to put them... It's just like Stringer Bell said in The Wire. We just gonna put that shit down a different cap. That's all. Maybe spike that shit with some propane, some caffeine. It's the same shit. That's all he's doing. And it's, I believe, on a level, it's because he knows he's not in the same place to make to make Take Care, to make Nothing Was the Same in the studio for an extended album. Maybe it's hits, maybe it's singles. It's just like I said about Chance the other week. You should do. You're talented enough. You should be able to. It's just like KD. You should be able to walk into a gym and give me 10 in your sleep. Drake, you should be able to walk into a studio and give me a hit in your sleep. Like, you're a very talented artist. But to do it over an album is a different thing. It's a different beast. And I think there's more than enough evidence, in my opinion, now to suggest that he's probably lost that ability to do so.
But then, and here's why I'm kind of holding out hope for, what's it, Certified Lover Boy.
Sure.
That's how I'm coming out, yeah. I'm kind of holding out hope for it because the main difference between the other albums he dropped and this one that's going to be coming out is that there seems to be a lot more time taken in between. Whereas those other albums, like after Views, it was More Life, which if I'm not mistaken came out.
Yeah, but you got to remember, More Life is the B-sides of Views.
Okay, but then you had Scorpion, the year after? Like, he dropped.
But again, if you're thinking that More Life is literally just the tracks that didn't make views, right? So if that's the case, then those all came from the Views session. So really, the next time he was actually in the studio seriously recording music was for Scorpion, 2018, which is 2 years.
I mean, you say that. I still felt like the thing is, More Life felt. I can imagine that some of the songs here would have been B-sides.
No, they're all B-sides. He did it so he could get off his Young Money deal.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah, it's a playlist. He literally said, I'm going to take all those B-sides that didn't make the Views album. I think maybe one or two in it that would maybe just came through in the studio and put them out because it gives me another album I can get off this Young Money deal.
But even then, okay, cool. The next time we heard him was Scorpion, right? Again, I've said it before. I believe you probably said it as well. I wish I could have heard this Scorpion album in a world where there wasn't the whole controversy at the time, him versus Push.
I would love to hear what you had. I love the controversy more.
I like the controversy, but I want to know what this album looks like before he's decided, oh no, I'm going to dedicate songs 1 to 10 to get back at Pusha T and Kanye West.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't, but I feel like, okay, cool. I would have, like, that album there, it would have been nicer to see, okay, this is the project he had planned. This was the concise run through whatever of what he had planned. He
I agree. I completely,
2 weeks before release?
I completely agree. Like, you got to think, he started off that year with Diplomatic Community. I mean, God's Plan as well. But Diplomatic Community, which I loved when it came out. He also started off that year with Look Alive with JB Blockboy. And it looked like, I said it, I remember I was back in Kiel. I remember walking into my boy Tommy's accommodation. And I said, yo, Drake might be back, bro. I said those words. They came out of my mouth. Documented. People were in the room. And I'll never dispute it. I said it. I said, yo, Drake might be back, bro. Because with Diplomatic Community, God's Plan, nice little hit. And then with this Look Alive, and the way he's talking, yo, Drake might be back, bro. And even then, I was still, because he came on that daily, that Duppy freestyle. I said, yo, Drake might be back, bro. Drake might be back. And even with Nice for What, I was like, yo, why do I have to be nice for like nice for what? Like I was for real. And then he went and did that album. But even in that changing the album 2 weeks before, that suggests to me like artists are very guarded about that art. Like, I'm not an artist. I'm very guarded about the small lyrics I've written down in this phone right here, right? And so like, if you've gone to lengths, you've had studio time, you've been writing down, why would you change that for another man?
I couldn't answer that.
And that even suggests like, because if you had an album, which could have been fantastic, put that out, and then a week later, go and drop all these loosies that you've been able to record in 2 weeks to at Kanye West. Go and do that.
See,
and he came back. The rest of that year, he was great. Because was Astro World? What's the song?
Oh man!
Come on, like Sicko. Come on.
Oh man!
You know what I'm saying? He was good. Like he was great. But when it came to album time, fumbled.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Again, like what Scorpion came out 2018. So at this point, we have 3 years between his last album and the album that's supposed to be coming out now.
But that album would have been coming out last year if not for COVID. Don't forget that.
It would have been, but that just means he has more time to work on it, which is never a bad thing.
Maybe.
It's never a bad thing. And then what? If I'm assuming that Dark Lane demo tapes is probably songs that didn't make the cut. Which I'm grateful because that's the one with Tootsie Slides on it, man. And if that didn't make the cut, thank God.
What was he thinking?
I don't know. I wish I could. In fact, I do know what he was thinking. I know exactly what he was thinking.
And that's the issue. Like, you are Drake. You don't need to do this.
I was trying to get popular on TikTok. Like,
you don't need to do this. You were popular on Vine. Bro. You said it when that Bryson Tiller album and that song dropped. You will not go anywhere without seeing the Instagram models playing that song.
Yep.
And the next day,
yep.
I showed you a random Instagram model playing that song. You are Drake. Niggas quote you. You said, I got so many chains, they call me Chaining Tatum. Every single time someone I know who's gotten a chain, that's been their quote.
I'm Chaining Tatum immediately.
You do not need to try and be TikTok. What? You're Drake.
That's the issue. And I think it goes back to what I was going to say earlier, but it's very much a case of it's starting to feel like Drake chases sound.
But that's why when you said earlier that, you know, he moved and changed his sound ahead of time, I was like, no, it feels like he chases. He feels like he looks at where music may be going, and he is talented enough to do well in that lane, and that he's able to fit. Controller's a real good song. Controller ain't the best dance hall vibe song of all time.
Yes, definitely.
One Dance is a really, I love One Dance. One of the best Afro beats, the clash vibe of that sound. Bro, Redacted, who we will not mention on this podcast, his Controller might have been better than Drake's.
Oh yeah, no, it was. Do you
see what I'm saying?
It was way better.
Do you see what I'm saying? Crazy. Even that whole time when that Redacted came out on his run and he was doing his Chicks tapes. Now you guys should know. When he was doing his Chicks tapes, those were better R&B rap vibes than any.
Yeah, no, big fact. I think the one that stands out the most to me, and I think is probably the most egregious, is what he did with Hotline Bling.
Why?
Because I think Drum should have snuffed him.
Oh yeah.
I think Drum should have really snuffed. I don't think it was fair what he did.
Oh no, Drum should have snuffed him. Drum should still snuff him.
Fam, Chow Chow was moving. And then this came out and I didn't hit
yeah, Drum should snuff him. Drum should snuff him.
Egregious. And he didn't even use the sound moving on.
No, he didn't even use it well.
Yeah, Drum should have snuffed him.
Because Cha Cha is I like to cha cha.
The me niggas.
And yeah, you used to call me. I'm like,
he actually, like, there's no one.
And he did a whole video for that too.
And it was a big video because it was like, oh, this is the one that Apple got behind, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Because they had the proof of concept. It just wasn't from him.
And then obviously there was that, rest in peace, Triple X. There was that controversy with stealing Look at Me from Triple X too.
Yep. He had some crazy controversies.
And he had he's a culture vulture.
Damn. That's a harsh one.
I'm a fan though. I'm still a fan. Don't get it twisted. Everything I'm saying is because I'm hurt as a fan that you're not giving me the music up. This is the same guy who said the Fresh Prince just had dinner with Tatiana. No lie. All these 90s fantasies on my mind. Differences were at their mind. They all come through in due time. And you gotta remember, he said that a week after pictures came out of him going on a date with Tatiana M. Ali, who was Ashley Banks in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So he would have been a kid in the 90s watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air saying, man, she's beautiful. And then he'd later then take her on a date. So all those 90s fantasies came to his mind. This is the same guy who on All Me once said, I even fucked the girl that used to babysit, but that was years later on some crazy shit. So he's even making his childhood dreams come a reality, which is crazy because no one could have foreseen that he would be able to do this type of shit. So why the fuck did you make Tootsie Slide?
Right foot up, left foot slide.
It doesn't make sense. It's not even good. It's not even good. Bro, listen. This is what I don't get. When Nice for What came out, niggas did a whole challenge So organic. Shout out Shiggy. It was beautiful.
Was it even for nice for what? It was for...
It was In My Feelings.
In
Jesus,
My Feelings,
thank you. It was when In My Feelings came out. And it was beautiful. Took the song to a whole new... Niggas will do it for you. And you want to make it right foot up, left foot slide? Are you that... Is it that easy to pimp you out to the master?
Whoa.
You don't need white man paperwork. I'm coming different in 2021. I'm coming different in 2021.
This guy trying to get us to the next level.
I'm coming different in 2021.
This guy trying to get us cancelled before we start running. Bring fans will come be after
Let them.
Man. I think you bring up good points though. You bring up very good points. I don't think he needs a lot of the songs that he comes out with these days. I don't think he needs them. And I don't know why he hasn't realised it himself. Like, if he just makes an album, which I'm hoping this next one is, but I don't think it will be, because it's showing over the last 3 albums what he's on. But if he does an album that's very much tailored towards making music that he's good at, that he's the best at, because Drake has a pocket that he's honestly, if he stays in that pocket, no one's beating him.
Let me tell you why I don't think, I can already believe that Sci-Fi Lover Boy isn't going to be that. Because the lead single is Laugh Now, Cry Later. You think that's a good song. You like it. I don't think it's bad. It's cool. Lil Durk is beloved. Right? Lil Durk is beloved by a lot of people. Some people say he was probably the rapper of the year in 2020. Had a great year. Is Lil Durk in Drake's class? No. Would you say that Take Care is one of Drake's best albums?
Yeah.
You would, right? Let me tell you the features on Take Care. Can I just tell you the feature? Just on Take Care. This is it. The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Is he in Drake's class?
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Is he in Drake? She in Drake's class?
Definitely.
How about Kendrick Lamar?
100%.
How about Birdman?
Yeah.
How about Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
How about Rick Ross?
Of course.
What about Lil Wayne?
Yes.
What about Andre 3000?
Yes.
What about Lil Wayne again?
Yes.
And what about Lil Wayne for a third
yes.
time? Do you see what I'm talking about? Look who you're playing with compared to who you're now playing with. And you're not doing it in a sense of, I'm going to just give this guy some shine. No, you're doing this to promote yourself, as if you need it to stay relevant. Dirk fans are not checking for you, Drake. No, for real. Lil Baby's fans are not. It's a different fan base. It's a different group of people. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not checking for you. If Jay-Z hops on a single with Lil Baby, it'll be a nice little feature. It'll be great to see 2 generations come together. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it as, I'm like, Jay-Z is adding something, Baby's adding something to Jay-Z. Like, but that's how it seems Drake feels like he needs to do, because he's consistently doing these features. Like, bro, stay in your bag. Go play with the people who are in your lane. Go and when Cole said, no problem, I'm hopping on everyone's album, you know what the outcome will be. Look at the albums he hopped on. Royce, Rhapsody, like Jeezy. Like, look at the people who he was going to say, I'm gonna go rap with. And then culminated off with that beautiful A Lot feature on 21 Savage, got him a Grammy. He wasn't out there playing with. He did that when he wanted to go out there and play with. He said, "I'll do it in a way that you guys can all get your shine, Revenge of the Dreamers through." Go and listen to Cordet. JID, go show these niggas your pen. Boss, go show these niggas your pen. Afghan, show these niggas your pen. Luke, the Baby, come show these niggas your pen. There's a way to do this thing. There is a way to do this thing. Drake goes about it in a way where it feels like, I'm gonna culture vulture. I'm gonna, wherever hip hop is, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm here. You don't need to be at every party, bro. Stay at home. Go play with your son. I'm gonna take a back seat, man.
He swears it's Pusha T.
Well, you want us to get in Pusha T? Yo, Daytona. These are the games we play. Listen, where were you when Big Meech brought the Tiger? Let me stop, man.
I think it's telling, man. It's very telling. And this next album, for me, this is the one that's gonna be do or die.
Okay, if we're talking about albums, though, take me through the past album.
Right. Okay.
Drake's catalog. Drake has a big catalog of albums and projects.
Yep.
Dating back.
Right.
Talk to me. I want to rank him, just like we did for Wale. When we were in here and we did the podcast about nothing, you can find that. You can find that wherever you listen to Stubborn Nigerians podcast, whether it's Anchor, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whether it's Overcast, whether it's Google Podcasts. We're about. Go listen to the podcast about nothing.
Yep.
We did a little ranking of Wale. Shout out Wale, the third stubborn Nigerian. He just doesn't know yet. I want to hear how you view. Do you see how I did that? Because views. Man.
Guys in this bag.
Talk to me.
Man, if I'm ranking these albums, it's not easy.
It's not.
It starts off easy though. It does start off easy.
You going to best to worst or worst to best?
I think worst to best makes more sense. The album I'd have to start off with, if we're calling it an album, Dark Lane Demo Tapes.
Okay.
It's a weak album. If it's an album, I don't know if we're counting it as an album. Let's call it project. It's a weak project. It didn't really inspire me to listen to it more than twice. There's probably 3 songs on there that I like really like.
Yeah.
Which would be what? Chicago Freestyle, mainly because of what Giveon does on that. Pain 1993, just for that Kawhi Leonard bar, because it brings back amazing memories. When I shoot my shot, it's the Kawhi way is going in. I love it. And then the first song will be Demons featuring 5-Yo and Sosa.
Bobby Sosa.
Just because of what 5-Yo does in that song. Crazy. But as for the rest of it, it's very forgettable, which is crazy because when you're talking about Drake, that shouldn't be a word that you can even think about using. Forgettable should not be on the tip of your tongue. Coming off of last, so just second to last, for me would have to be Views. Now, we did a poll on Instagram. For the people who don't follow our Instagram, I'm gonna tell it to you again. Yeah. So maybe you missed it the first time.
They did.
Even though we said it twice.
They caught up late.
Come on, man. Yeah. You skipped a little bit.
Yeah, they skipped ahead. It's fine.
Listen, you can follow us on Instagram at 2_stubborn_Nigerians. On that Instagram page, we did polls, and a lot of people told me that Views beat another album that I'll get into later. To all those people who said that, you're bugging, you're incorrect, you're wrong. I'm not gonna go to it in. I was going to go in, but Paul told me to hold back, so I held back. This album for me, I don't know what it was about it. It never really. There's only like 2 songs on here that passed the line of, oh, this is really, really good. Every other song was cool at best.
A man said, "Why you want to fight with me at Cheesecake? You
Ridiculous.
know I like to go there."
No need. And this is the thing is, right? I have friends who I went to the Views tour, right? Because it's Drake, and they're always quick to remind me when I tell them that I hate this album. They're quick to remind me like, "Yo, you went to the tour. You literally, I saw you singing along to all the songs." Yeah, because
that doesn't mean anything.
Fam, one, I enjoyed the songs.
I know every word to every single song off this album. And do you know why?
Why?
Because I worked in retail in 2016.
Oh man,
that doesn't mean anything. So when Pop Style comes on, or when Western Road Flows comes on, or when Redemption comes, I know every single word. When 9 comes on, I do know the fact he said turn the 6 upside down. It's a 9 now.
Yeah,
because I had to listen to it for 8 hours a day for 7 weeks.
See, I can't even say because obviously at that time I wasn't. Was I working? No, I wasn't. But the reason that I do know all these songs, one, I said it earlier, I had convinced myself for a week that I liked this album. Because I wanted so desperately to like this album. Because as I said, Drake was in my top 3. I didn't want Drake to come out of my top 3.
Yeah.
But it's literally just a case of if you release any of these songs by themselves, I think they're a lot better than what they are on the album.
Yeah.
Like Western Road Flows, I love that song. I really, really do love that song. But coming off of Hype and the following song is Redemption, it feels kind of out of place to me. Which is why it's one of the weaker ones for me. But I digress. That's just one of them. We get into the next song on my list.
Next album.
The next album, should I say, yeah. Scorpion. I won't dwell too much on this one. We've spoken about it already. I would have loved to hear it without the controversy.
Yeah, me too.
But, the controversy was there, and the controversy made the album what it is. I had a few standouts on there for me, but overall, it was kind of forgettable. It didn't really stand the test of time for me.
Yeah.
Then we get into More Life. I enjoyed More Life. I think from More Life is where we start getting into the projects that I didn't actually mind too much and I can go back and listen to. More Life, when it came out, was a lot bigger to me than it is today. it didn't age as well as I thought it would, but it is still enjoyable. It has a few songs on there that I really, really like, especially the outro, More Life, which is Do Not Disturb, which I love. I love that song so much. It's one of my favorite Drake songs, like point blank, period. It has a lot of songs on there that I really enjoy. But it wasn't as good as the next album on my list, which has to be So Far Gone. Now, So Far Gone, this is where we really started talking about Drake when Drake was in his Drake bag. Like, there's not much there's no criticisms for this one. That's the thing, like, after we get past More Life, there's no more criticisms.
That's facts.
Because everything else just lived. And it lived at the moment when it dropped to this moment where we're years after the fact. And I can still go back and listen to it and enjoy it as if it just came out. Amazing project. I have nothing bad to say about this. What would be my standout success? Oh my god, this one has Successful on it. And Paul, you know, I don't have to tell you, of all people, what Successful did to us growing up.
A straight song,
man. Man.
Best I ever had is on here.
Huh. Paul, we're talking about classics. This is up there.
Yeah.
This is some people's favourite. But it's not mine, because after this one comes If You're Reading This Is Too Late.
Okay.
Now, If You're Reading This Is Too Late, fam, that album, the thing is, it's funny actually, because the first time I heard this album, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for a while, actually.
Really?
I didn't like it for a while, because there was a lot of songs that it took me a minute to not understand, but especially coming off of Nothing Was the Same, it took me a while to be like, okay, no, I like this album. It took me about a month in total. But once certain songs started hitting for me, I was like, no, okay, this is amazing. I like where it's taking it, actually. And again, like, that journey started of me liking it, and it hasn't changed since to today. To this day, like, it's just crazy. The fact that he literally said, okay, cool, I'm gonna give Preach for Party Next Door to just do by himself, and then Wednesday Night Interlude we're gonna go crazy. Like, just like, again, I don't have enough good things to say about If You're Reading This Is Too Late. It's an amazing project. Company, oh man. Company featuring Travis Scott, where he just lets Travis Scott go crazy at the end. Again, I'll move on to the next one, because after that would have to be Thank Me Later. Now listen, I said that the people decided that, Views was better than the album. They decided it was better than Thank Me Later. Which again, I have to say, you're wrong, you're incorrect. Listen, you're kind of skunked for that.
No, you're stupid. You're stupid.
You guys are moving mad.
You're moving insane.
It might be the last time I ask you guys for an opinion.
Absolutely ludicrous.
So incorrect.
It's ludicrous.
Yo.
Shout out Luda.
Oh man, what artist? But that is not his episode today. Later. What Drake did with this album, to start off with Fireworks, to have Over on here, which I've already told you guys is one of my favorite Drake songs, to have Light Up on here featuring Jay-Z, to have Miss Me featuring Lil Wayne. Man, this album.
There are really people in the world who think Turn the 6 Upside Down, it's a 9 now, is better than Miss Me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Thank Me Later has hits that have lasted over 10 years.
Bro, they think Controller is better than Light Up. If you look at if you actually go back and listen to the jewels that Jay-Z drops on Light Up, that shit literally happened to Drake's career. He said, and if you pillow talking with the women that are fucking you, just know that she gonna tell another nigga when she done with you.
Man.
How did Pusha T find out about Drake's baby? From 40 pillow talking to a girl that he would... Come on. Dre told you in 09.
Come on, man. He actually predicted it.
He predicted it verbatim.
And verbatim. He didn't put in countermeasures. And he didn't
just in case. At all. 40 just out there running his mouth. Yeah, nah, I made views, but really, Drake made baby. That's how that combo went for real.
That's the thing. It's so crazy to me that people said that Views was better than...
It's insane.
Because you have to look back at Views. What song off of Views lives till today as a hit?
That's insane.
That you can play off Views and people will go crazy. You can't. There's no real songs except for maybe Western Road Flows, but even then, that's just for me and myself when I'm in my room. But you know, again, I won't digress. We've been on here for a minute. So, I have to get into my final three, should I say? No, final two. Take Care, my second favourite Drake album. Classic, in every single sense of the word. It just gets better. every time you hear it, there's just so many songs on here that it's like, wow, I can't believe that these were songs that he was making in 2011. But he has headlines on here going crazy, which comes on after Shot For Me, which comes on after Over My Dead Body, which comes on before True Love.
Come on, man.
Like, yo, that as your first 4 songs
makes no sense.
And then it's crazy because you think, okay, yeah, rest for a second. But he said, nah, Take Care featuring Rihanna, take that, man. And then, as if that wasn't already crazy enough, he said Marvin's Room. And then he says, yeah, okay, let me give him Buried Alive featuring Kendrick Lamar, which is just Kendrick Lamar.
Like, I'm embarrassed. Like a suicidal terrorist. Yeah, like an infant whenever you are met.
Yo. Then he has to go crazy and let us know, okay, no, Underground Kings.
Yeah, that's what I am.
And then he goes, yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be absolutely fine.
And then, yo, make me proud, Nikki. Yo,
like one with a feature in the past. A little electric power more good, it'll make the shit last. Ooh, this nigga wanna be Joe Budden so bad. That is a whole Joe Budden bar.
And then he was confused why Joe
Budden's beefing. Yo, you stole my whole world. Flow, word for word, bar for bar.
Man, this album is special, man. I didn't even get into my favorite part of the album.
Lord knows.
Because Lord Knows is right there. Cameras is right there. Good Ones Go is right there. Doing It Wrong is right there.
You ain't gotta run and tell nobody. They already know. We've been living on a high. They've been talking on the low. No, it's cool. Oh, you heard it all before. That's why I asked you.
I am me. Oh my God.
Niggas ain't got it like that no more. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry.
Because this is where you might be right in that has Drake fallen off, because just talk about this stretch of songs. Like, this is legendary shit that we're talking about right now.
The content should be different today. Absolutely. But the ability should still be there. You should be aging like fine wine. He's aging like spoiled milk.
Oh my God. You're going in. You're going in on this.
I told you. We're not playing about anymore, alright? Alright?
Yo, so I know some people out there saying, yo, so that was your second favorite Drake album? So what's your first favorite Drake album?
What is your first favorite album?
Nothing was the same.
Man.
Paul?
Man.
This album here, and the thing is that a lot of people, like, you ask people what's Drake's classics, a lot of people don't put this in his classic conversation, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at. If you don't want to put in this classic conversation, you don't have to. Me personally, is in his classic conversation because this is his best album.
Facts.
Man, Paul. Man, listen.
Rahim, can you tell me how much time this nigga's spending on the intro?
Oh my God.
This nigga said how much time this nigga's spending on the intro. How this nigga working like he got a fucking Twinder.
Paul, Tuscan Leather as an intro.
I just want to know where he got that bag from. That's all I want to know.
The thing is, right, this is his fan. Oh man, because the things I have to say about this album, because Pound Cake is here. Pound Cake, where he brought Jay-Z again. Come Through is here. All Me, where Big Sean said, yo, Big Sean came on to, ho,
shut the fuck up!
Paul, he came on the track.
Ho, shut the fuck up!
Before he said anything else. Before he, bam, something that gets overlooked. 2 Chainz came on to, cheap fun, cheap. Nigga, God bless you.
What? If having a bad bitch was a crime, I'll be arrested. True.
But why did I say true after?
Because it's true. It's so true.
And then one of my guys knows, in it, like a lot of people like the song Motion.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out my guy Ken.
Oh my goodness.
And shout out all the people who we beat at Jackpot using the signal of us singing just the chorus of the motion. I guess that's just a motion. Oh, fam. Big.
I don't have a fuck to give. I've been moving state to state in my leather and my tins like it's 1998.
And my Doug Chubby Chub, that's my nigga from the way. Oh my God. Oh my God. This album here, listen, you cannot convince me that Drake has made a better album.
Yeah.
Or will make a better album than this, because this is as close to Drake perfection as I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him, like, as I said before, he found his pocket.
Yeah.
He stayed in his pocket.
Yeah.
And when Drake does this, no one's beating him in this bag.
Yeah.
But that's my Drake list. What about you?
It wouldn't be too far off, if I'm being honest. Scorpion would be my least favorite Drake album.
Okay.
Because that shit is ass. That shit is a 25-pack of ass. That shit is cheeks.
You don't have standouts from it?
No.
Not one. Cool.
The album didn't live at all. There was nothing to stand out.
Yeah, but songs that you like, songs that impressed you.
No, I wasn't impressed. I was actually. You've got to remember, I didn't have high hopes for I had high hopes for the album because everything he had done that year gave me high hopes for the album. So for me to listen to this album and be sat there like, this ain't it, this ain't it, this still ain't it, and at no point for it to ever get out of second gear, considering the fact that the last time I heard you was Duppy Freestyle, which I factually still to this day think is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great response in for Red. Sensational. And then we didn't hear from you again after the story of Adidon because the belief was we're going to hear from you on the album. Cool. And the most I really got from you is I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding my world from the kid. You can keep it. It's fine. So it's not for me.
Okay.
Then I go Dark Lane demo tapes. It's just B-sides. It's just a whole load of B-sides. Just thrown out there. So I don't hold them to it. Nothing stressful. Love that song. Chicago Freestyle. Give your. I mean, for me, Take Drake Off It. I like that song. So it's cool. Yeah. And Favi and Sosa, you're absolutely right. They should have been on that. Favi Sosa song should have been on a different tape to really give them the shine that they deserve. Or just been released as a simple single. Like, it would have been so much better. Just release it as a single on its own. Give those two, if you really want to put them on, give them the shine through that. Don't do it on this awful tape. Then I got Views.
Okay.
Then I got Views. I remember the first time listening to Views, I was on a train coming back from Birmingham where I lived, going to Kiel where I went to uni. Make it make sense. It doesn't. And I remember the whole time I was listening to it, I was just sat there. I was like, when can I stop listening to this so I can go back to listening to Chick's tape? That was my whole mentality the whole time. And that was the day Views came out. I was excited for it. I told you, I loved One Dance. Yeah. My jam. Controller. Ooh, I heard Jay and Kanye meant to be on this. Okay. I'm getting down it. I'm like, this ain't hitting like Jalissa's story. like, for real. Like, this ain't really it like that. This ain't it like Say It. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, as soon as this was done, I was just like, I mean, we'll try again later. And we tried again. And we kept coming back. And it just never really hit for me. Was never a fan. People think I'm crazy all the time, but it just wasn't it for me. So I got Views. After that, I got More Life. I hate More Life. Yeah. I genuinely hate More Life.
You've told me something.
I've said it all the time. The only songs I like on More Life are songs either without Drake or where Drake is not the standout. So my favorite songs on More Life are Get It Together because of Georgia Smith. 4422, which doesn't have any Drake on it. It's just Sampha. Skepta's Interlude, which doesn't have any Drake on it. It's just Skepta. I like Portland because Portland is what I believe Quavo and Travis Scott's tape was actually meant to be. I believe that song was for Quavo and Travis Scott's tape. Drake heard it, said, "Hey, let me take that," and then made a power play and did that. Sacrifices. I mean, Young Thug had Verse of the Year off that song. Crazy. Gigs, KMT, and then Young Thug on Ice Melts.
Oh man!
Whenever I have to hear Drake's voice, I literally tune out on all of those songs.
That's crazy. That's great. So what you didn't like Do Not Disturb at all?
Not as much as I know. A lot of people love it. Let me not say. A lot of people love it. I don't like it as much as other people do.
Okay.
I'll cut Drake some slack. Fake Love was my shit. That was my shit. Man. When that came out.
Oh my! I got fake people showing fake love. So, hey.
If I should speak on some of it, ooh, fam. There are some of you who are listening to this right now.
Okay, let me know.
Drake, you're prophetic for that one, bro. Because there are some people who are listening to my words right now, and the amount of fake love they be showing, and they think I don't peep it.
Fam, this podcast, it really opened my eyes to some of the fake people out there. But yeah, I'm trying to keep my peace. It's 2021. I need to keep peace.
Bro, I need to. If not, I need to keep my peace. Or find peace of mind. So yeah, I got More Life, but that's when we get to the point of the albums which I hate. Right. After that, after that, I'm cool with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like you. Then I go So Far Gone.
Yeah.
So Far Gone. Like you said, it's classic. Whether you count it as a mixtape, you count it as an album, it's a rapper in his early beginnings finding his way. And he's alongside some greats, Bun B's on here, Lil Wayne, Omarion, Lloyd. Like you said, Successful's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Best I Ever Had is on here.
Man.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas is on here. Lust for Life kicks this shit off. He did his thing. It was great to see a rapper in his beginnings coming into his own, coming of age.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I then go, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yep.
At the time when this came out, I liked it. But at the time, I really only liked like the first half. Right up until Preach. I liked Preach, and then from Wednesday Night into Down, I wasn't really a huge fan. As time's gone on, I've sort of switched, and I found myself listening to everything from Preach down more than I listen to everything from Preach up, which probably shows the growth. Like I don't really be running around the 6 with my woes for real.
That's all.
You know
I'd
what
be
I'm
at
saying?
home.
I'd really be at home quarantining.
Because it's tier 4.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'd be looking at my mum like, yo, you and the 6 raised me right. Your shit saved my life, because. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
I've got, Kyle Kuzma off the bench. That's my 6 man. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like the fact that now that I've heard hers version of it, I really hate the jungle that's on it, by the way.
Do you know what's so funny? I don't know which version I like more.
Oh, that's disgusting. Don't disrespect her like that on this podcast.
I love hers version, but I also love Drake's version. I can't lie.
We're not getting into this, man. We're not getting into that.
I love
There's no her slander which will be tolerated on my podcast.
There's no slander happening.
Next, I got Thank Me Later. And I agree with everything that Keck said earlier. Any of you who were saying the views is better than this album, you are absolutely insane. You are absolutely insane. You should put down that hashish and go and repent.
Yep.
You should put down that reefer and go and repent. You should,
quickly.
Bro, you should put down that crack because you saw what it did to Mel's. Some of you still ain't watched season 3 of Snowfall. After I said it like 10 minutes ago.
Crazy.
You didn't stop.
Crazy. You should have paused it.
Bro, you should have paused it and watched.
It's on BBC.
Bro, couple man got put in packs.
Oh my god. Paul. Franklin said, I don't give a damn about the way another nigga talk. What?
I built this shit. Me. By myself. Then he just stopped. Listen. Drive, motherfucker. I said, yo. I said, Franklin's insane.
And this from the UK.
Yo, Sarah Damien is just. Then I'm like you. Take Care at 2. Nothing was the same as 1. Nothing was the same has, like, everything you said is true. For me, it has even deeper meaning because, like, for me, that was a point where Drake's career, nothing was the same. To me, that's the exact moment where I think it's prophetic. I think he was saying that because, nothing's going to be the same after this album. He knew what he was going to be able to drop, and then after that, he knew I'm going to go a completely different way with my career. The music I'm giving you isn't going to be this level. It's not going to be the same. I'm going somewhere else with it. And he went somewhere else with it. We never really heard him in that pocket consistently again. I don't think he's had a better rap performance since Tuscan Leather than since Tuscan Leather than Tuscan Leather. Like he was absolutely sensational on that. From Time with Janae is on there.
Own It's on there, man.
Own It's on there. Like Worst Behavior, 305 to My City, The Language. Like he was in his bag, and like you said, Take Care. Take Care is Take Care. It's an absolute classic. It was a classic from the moment it came out. It's a classic from before it came out, because when Headlines is your lead-off single, and you have the video where you got the night gloves on and you're just working around like this, like rundown buildings in Toronto, like yeah, you knew what you were doing. And in between those 2 albums, you hop on Khaled shit, and you do I'm on one, and you do no new friends. Hey. There are some new friends I took on. I shouldn't have taken them on.
Man.
I didn't listen to him.
I don't know why.
He said it.
Because even after that, he said, oh, trust issues.
Bro. Fam! You don't understand. You weren't in Y-Band. You don't know how many, fam. English classes, I can't remember what the presentation was I was doing in English. I got an A. In that presentation, I sung Trust Issues. No word of a lie. We can call Josh Boawi right now. He will verify everything I'm saying. I was quoting Trust. I sung Trust Issues verbatim, and I got an A in an English presentation. Make it make sense.
I think there was literally a stretch where every single day after school finished, it'll be me, Joab, Hans, Hensley on the bus.
Mm-hmm. Playing
and we'll Drake out song every single day.
You had to.
Fam, let anyone look at us any type of way. Yeah.
Whoa. Trust issues. I have trust issues still to this day.
Fam, so many, and they just keep on building up.
They keep building up for different reasons. It's cool. And then but like I said, man, nothing was the same. I think it's his best album. Like I just think it's sensational the whole way through. It was one of the albums that helped introduce me to Siffre, which I'm really glad about. Pound Cake.
Man, if we're talking about what he's done, that sample, just the way they chopped it and screwed it, even the intro, good God Almighty.
All that other bullshit, it's here today. And it's gone tomorrow. All them other podcasts, they're here today.
And gone tomorrow.
But we here. We up. We still going. We cooking. That's all we do.
And then they told me that was Ellie Goulding the whole time.
Yeah.
How was I to know?
You didn't know?
How was I to know?
Come on, man. But yeah, that's for me. So if we're leaving this Drake topic, because we do have to leave. What's Drake's standing in hip hop for you?
For me, all time.
And I'm not talking about ranking, just like what's his legacy?
His legacy for me,
as it stands, yeah.
He's still. I said it like to begin. He's still going to go down as one of the greats, regardless. If for nothing else, he is still the man who gave us "So Far Gone," "Thank Me Later," "Take Care." Nothing was the same for elite projects. I think he has to be remembered for that alone. But on top of that, he has his accolades, what he's managed to accomplish numbers wise. Also deserves some respect. Now, could he be better at the end? Can he get better moving forward? Yes, I hope he does. Am I happy where he is now? No. However, regardless of all that, we said it for Trey Songz. There's certain people who don't really have to prove themselves anymore.
Facts. Shout out Trigger.
What Drake has accomplished, he doesn't have to prove himself to us anymore. But it would be nice if he does.
It would be really nice, wouldn't it?
It would be so nice.
Just hear everything I say, then say it. Let me prove this nigga wrong. Let me shut this nigga the fuck up. I'd love it. That's all I really want. I want to be proved wrong so bad.
Yep. I would love for him to just come give us an album that the first time we hear it, we say, okay, yeah, this is the one to beat. I hope he does. Certified Lover Boy, I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope. What about you?
I think so. Our generation, Drake's gonna go down as a legend. I think he already is a legend. I think it's undisputed. I think as you get into like the wider range of hip hop and people of different generations, then it might get a bit more contentious. I think the fact that we're still in some people's eyes, they're still debating whether Take Care is a classic hip hop album or not is a problem. I don't think that should be the case. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think like there should even be room to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a classic hip hop album. I know you do, but like I don't think there should even be the fact that there's room for people to do that. And like people like it's fine. Yeah, you can have that debate. Like I would say this, but yeah, I get why you say it isn't. Is like disappointing. And the fact that you've never then had an album to follow up to just categorically stops any of that talk. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to Ty Dolla $ign. Like, I will one day say that Free TC is a classic.
Yeah.
But there'll be people who say, well, I know he can go better. And the fact that we can even have that debate is just disappointing as an artist. It suggests you didn't necessarily reach your potential. What he's done in hip-hop is undisputed. It's undisputed. Like, I don't know who it's going to be, but I know Drake is going to hop on someone's feature. It's going to come out real soon at some point this new year, and it's probably going to be one of the best features of the year already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in all the shit I've spoken, and Drake was my number 2 listened to artist in 2020. Like, because when he hops on features, he hops on features. You know what I'm saying? Like, he comes for real. He comes with blood. He comes for smoke, and he's different with it. He's eclectic. He did curate a sound of hip-hop which stays. He helped change it. The way in which he was emotive in hip hop in a time where a lot of people weren't doing that. It was beginning to bubble, like I said, after Kanye West 808s and Heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we weren't at that stage yet. For him to come out, do it, and do it so successfully well, for you to have the writing credits that you have, that's something that doesn't get spoken about enough with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he had the controversy with Meek, but Meek's like, this nigga don't even write his own songs. It wasn't him running around the six with the woes, it was Quentin. That's true. But the songs that Drake has written for other people, this nigga said, Louis pouch across my body, this is not for fashion. Right. This is not no playground, ain't no fist fights, bitch, I'm blasting. But his nigga that was in prison. So that when he came out, he would have a number one. This nigga helped write Unthinkable for Alicia Keys. Right. This nigga wrote R.I.P. to the girl you used to sing. Her days are over. His writing credits are serious. He's a great artist. He's a legendary artist. I'm a huge fan, and everything I said on this podcast, which may have sounded negative, comes from a place of a disgruntled fan.
That's a may. It's
constructive criticism.
This nigga went in. I was taking it back. I was like, damn.
It's constructive criticism. But that would be me, and to show you how much I want to play my favorite Drake song, or what I believe is his best song.
Okay.
When Drake looks at a clock and figures out what time it is, and then looks at his phone and figures out what city he's in, and puts that to be the title,
it's going crazy. It's going crazy. It's going crazy.
I'm just gonna play it to wrap up this little Drake. It's not even little. This is long as shit. To wrap up this Drake conversation, this is 5 a.m. in Toronto. Sue me, I'm room for everybody that's black.
My soul.
Sue me, I'm room for everybody that's black.
And now I know.
Sue me, I'm room for everybody that's black. I ain't gonna let go. I need you to know.
Man.
You made it.
Man.
That's what I need you to know.
Man.
I need you to know and understand you made it. Through all the trials and tribulations, you made it. Through waking up every morning to see another black woman be abused, assaulted, murdered, you made it. Waking up and seeing one go missing, another go missing, as the rapper known as No Name so eloquently put it, you made it. Through waking up and seeing black death and black bodies and black trauma in a way that personally I hadn't experienced in my own lifetime, you made it. It doesn't feel like a victory right now. It feels really hollow. It feels really shallow. It feels like we're fighting a never-ending battle, but we're gonna get there.
Yep.
Each breath that we as black people take is a slap in the face of those who would try and end us. Each step that we take is a step towards the day of black liberation. It's a day towards it's a step towards a day of black freedom. It's a step towards a day that we don't have to worry. We don't have to say, I don't know if I can go on this holiday because of the culture of this country. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there by hell or high water. Yes, and yes, I am the hell. And the high water. Man, none of these niggas got anything on Shonda Rhimes.
When Shonda Rhimes decides, alright, let me when
Shonda Rhimes decides, let me remind you guys I'm the best rapper on the planet.
Man.
Like, it's her and Hope. Like,
yo, no one's versatile with Shonda Rhimes.
No, not at all.
You're getting
bodied.
This guy had me. I don't think you understand. This last week, Paul.
Yeah.
I've been wanting someone in my house to try me, so I'm like, alright, we're dueling.
We're dueling at dawn. You will meet me at dawn.
And sir, I will have to inquire that you meet me outside at dawn at the earliest time. Yo, I'm using such formal language in my house.
For real. No, in all seriousness, man, 2020 was a tumultuous one. It was a whirlwind. It was a hurricane. Insert natural disaster here.
Man.
But you made it.
Honestly.
We made it. And
I think, you know what, yeah. Because as you said, like, to a lot of people, it's not going to seem like a victory because, yeah, you made it for other years. A lot of people who saw the beginning of 2020 didn't see the end of 2020. As sad as it is to say. You know, people we know, people I'm sure you guys know.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, last year was defined by loss. So for you to make it out, you're one of the few who managed to.
Celebrate it. Through all the stresses, all the trials, all the emotions, make sure you just celebrate your own life, your own existence. You're a fabulous person, whoever you are. And, just find whatever brings you peace, brings you happiness, and and experience that as much as you possibly can. And that's really all we have to say. We root and we shout out every single one of you in your personal lives and your professional endeavors. Some of you are going to be starting businesses this year and they're going to pop off and be successful. Some of you have already started businesses this last year and boy, are they popping off and they're being successful. Some of you are well established. Some of you are just getting your foot in the door. Some of you are already experiencing that generational wealth that Hope said was the key. Share it with me.
Yes, sir.
Share it with us. We have a Patreon.
We don't.
We don't. We will set one up so swiftly. We will set one up so swiftly.
Yo,
we take cash donations in any form. Like, bro, we eat before every pod. Like £10, it will go a long ass way. For real. But no, shout out to each and every single one of you. Sue me. I'm rooting for everybody. All right, we've once again come to that time in the podcasting extravaganza as the Two Stubborn Nigerians, where we go into our bags, into our noggins, into our backpacks, into our go-yards, into our Fendis,
yes, sir,
into our Birkins.
Of course.
Shout out, sweetie. And give you recommendations. We decide what we feel you at home should and need to hear. I'm going to toss it over to the guy who gave you the look, the verse, and even the hook. That's why every pod sounds like Kex featuring Kex, to tell you what you should be looking out for.
Man, listen, man. It was it was a lot of episodes ago, episode 2, where I came here and I told you guys that I love Chloe Carly. I love them so much. You know, people who know me know that the second I get the chance to shoot my shot at Chloe Bailey, I'm shooting it quickly. We might have to cut that from the podcast,
shot.
but we'll keep it.
Like a shot. The shots that I took, wet like a book.
Landing. Headshots, nigga. But nah, they're really, really talented. And a group that I've been seeing get a lot of comparisons to them, just for the fact that it's another duo, a girl duo, who again are beautiful singers, beautiful voices, is a group known by the name of Van Jess. Now, I went and did my research and listened to their album, but more so their most recent song, which is called Slow Down, which is my recommendation for this week. And man, it did not disappoint. Beautiful, very strong voices from the both of them, very soulful. I'd recommend it to anyone, especially if you're trying to catch a vibe this early 2021.
Yeah.
But that's my recommendation for the week. Paul, what's your recommendation for the week?
Man, it's not a recommendation for the week, Rahim. It's a recommendation for the year. The year 2021. This woman is due to blow.
Okay.
Green Tea Peng. I'm going to repeat it again, because I know some of you are saying, who? Wait, what? Yeah. Green Tea Peng. Spelled just how it sounds.
Okay.
There's a space between the T and the Peng. Green Tea is all one word. Bruv, Green Tea Peng. UK artist, vibe. Just vibrations. If you're looking for a specific song, I would say look at Downers. I think that's our biggest hit to date. Has done real good numbers out here in the UK. I recommend it to everyone. You know, our people out of Singapore, I think you need the Green Tea Peng in your life. I know my people in Colorado. I know they're waiting for it. Minnesota, you know what it is. Ohio. Colin Sexton, you need this. The way you're balling, you need some green tea to calm you down. Cause hey, fuck around, get that ache stage.
That nigga's going crazy ever since they started listening to Two Stubborn Nigerian podcasts.
Ever since, it's crazy. Ohio State just made it to the football national championship. Ohio again. Justin Fields, I see you. We're so stupid. Like 3/4 of the people I know in Milton Keynes don't even listen. And all of a sudden.
I said Colin Sexton.
But no, Green Tea Peng, for real. Just real good vibe, real good artist, real eclectic. Just vibrations. Go listen to it. Like, why are you still listening to me? She's there. Go listen to it. And that's my recommendation for the week.
Okay, wait, Paul.
Yeah.
I just need to do something quick whilst we're here.
Hit me.
Whilst we're right here.
All right here.
I just want to shout out JT whilst we have a chance.
No, that makes sense. I don't know why you did it, but it's too random. Because it makes sense. Because we hadn't done it yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, shout out JT.
It felt weird.
Shout out JT. Sweetie, we see you.
Yep, yeah.
Do you see how Sweetie walked into 2021?
Oh, bro.
She's the best.
Oh, bro. I'm so jealous of Quavo.
Yo.
I'm so jealous.
I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand. She's so much fun.
Oh, my God.
Let's get out of here.
Hey man, if you made it this far into the episode, we appreciate you.
We really fuck with you.
You guys have been here through it all.
Mm-hmm.
All I say, thank you.
Thank you.
All I can say is we're coming stronger this year.
Yes, sir.
We're coming extremely strong.
Yes, sir.
It's 2021.
Yeah.
We have to. I'm so happy we started this one because I feel like we put our best foot forward here.
Man, we really put our foot in the road.
But that's it. We're now 14 episodes deep, and we're only going up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna end off the podcast here. It's my week to end, Paul.
Where are you taking it?
I'm playing a little song here. Just say Happy New Year to everyone at home. Remind people we are in the new year.
Yeah.
Things are gonna be different this year. We have a great outlook on life this year. So I'm gonna leave people at home with this message here.
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple message.
It's very simple. But people be forgetting, so you gotta keep reminding them.
I have to keep on reminding them. A great man once said that. In fact, let me give you the person's name who it is actually. His name was Rahim King.
Okay.
First of his name.
Yeah.
He once said that a country known as Nigeria. That country, it never carries last.
Peace and love.